Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the Impeccable Stock Software. Options have been added and you can now have the chance to make 360% returns every single year. Now again, let me break down exactly how this works and why and what's coming. So here we go guys. Here's a new software update. Before we get into too much, if you scroll to the bottom, I'm going to be doing a weekly Monday deep dive where I go through the software, dissect the great buys, talk about what I'm doing in my own six-figure portfolio, and actually trading live for you when the opportunity presents itself. So that will be there now for all my users. Now, going into the options integration that was just added is now you have your swing trading plan as usual. You can see here the yearly return you're going to make when you follow the swing trading game plan from the Impeccable Stock Software. Again, you can see your buy range, your take profit, your stop loss, and also your total return and all that stuff right here in one place. Now, we also have that for options. Now, right now, it's under beta, not because it needs to be changed, just because this is what each strategy has given us for the software. So you can see here a 361% return, a 282% return a year, a 9.9, and an 11%. Now, the reason why it's under beta is because I believe I can make these returns better, and I can do that by making tweaks to the strategy and making tweaks to performance. That's what I'm going to be doing over the next couple weeks and months, is I want to make sure to improve the strategy. Just like every single month I improve the swing trading one, I'm going to be doing the same exact thing with options, because it's my job to provide you with the best alerts and the best research possible so you can have all the information you need to make a stellar trade. Now, let's break down what is included in the new options program. We have buying options for people who want to follow the swing trade game plan but don't want to buy the stock. They can now buy options. Now, what does this do? Well, if you don't know anything about options, that's okay. I'm going to be doing an in-depth video talking about buying options, about credit spreads, about selling puts, about cover calls, about how each one of those strategies work, and also how to use it with the software. But again, this is just a high-level overview in this video. So anyways, if you want to buy options, which is where you buy an option instead of the stock, then again, you can do that here. When the stock becomes a great buy, when it's recommended as a buy, then the options plan will tell you what to buy, where to buy it, days to expiration, strike price, and all that stuff. Now, a very important note is you want to make sure that the options chain does not say a liquid options chain. You want to make sure it's a liquid or very liquid options chain. That's because you want to be able to get in and out of this trade. If it says illiquid, it's something you should stay away from. Yes, the stock offers options, but it's going to be really hard to sell when it's time to sell. Now again, what is it about buying options? You have a huge risk, a risk of it going to zero, and you have a huge potential return. So that's why you have a 361% return. Now, you cannot put your whole portfolio into trading these. The reason being is because, as always, we have trade history, so you can see what exactly is going on. So if we go to the alerts of buy calls, you can see here on some instances you're losing almost 90% of your potential trade value. You can see here down 76%, down 78%, down 92%. That means you can lose almost 100% of the money you put into these options trades. But at the same time, you have the 1,000% returns. You have the 200% returns. You have the 400% returns. And again, the 700% returns. This all offsets itself. But again, this is only for people who can handle risk. So if you want to handle, or you're okay with handling risk and losing 100% of your options value, go ahead and follow these alerts with options. If not, you can use the simple swing trading game plan to make 14% a year and risk no more than 3% on a trade. So again, this is for people of all risk levels. Next is credit spreads. Credit spreads is something I did a lot a few years ago, but I didn't really dive deep on. And now that I've been diving deep on it, I really like it, and I really want to make it better here in the software. Why? Because it only takes $100 to put this trade on. It makes it only takes $100, which means it's accessible to literally almost anybody. And over the last 4 years, it's made $1,128. That means that that's a 1,128% return in 4 years, or a 282% return every single year. Now, that is the beauty of using credit spreads and defining your risk and all those amazing things. But again, I believe I can increase that, and that's what I'll be doing here and improving over the next coming weeks, seeing if I can improve that. Now, again, all these strategies here are based on the trending band. If the stock is trending up, then we're going to use a covered call. We're going to use a credit spread. We're going to use sell puts, whatever. If it's below, then we're not, because that's when the market does not go in our favor. So that's where all these returns come from. You can read more in the explanation or wait for the video to come out where I do an in-depth on each one of these. Now, selling put strategies, this is going to make you about a 10% return a year on SPY. Again, this is essentially where you sell a put below the stock price and you collect that, that value or that premium. And then again, you get to hold on to that premium. Now again, if it gets executed, then you do have a stock loss, but all that is calculated and shown in the trade history. If you go to trade history under sell puts, you can see all the income you're collecting from selling puts, but also when you have a stock loss and how much that is. So again, you can see that all here because again, I want to give you all the information you need to make the most profitable trade ever. You also have covered calls. This is for people who are holding a stock. If you already have 100 shares or more of a stock, then might as well sell some covered calls on it, especially if you're in a long-term position. You can see here that on average, the S&P 500 makes an 8% return a year. Well, if you hold the S&P 500 and sell covered calls on it based on how it's recommended here, you can make it an 11% return a year. What does that mean? It means, guess what? You now just improved your return by 2 to 3% a year. So that's the beautiful part of following something like this. And again, you can learn all more about that here. But this is the new options integration into the Impeccable Stock software. So for people who not only want to stock trade, but want to options trade, you now have 4 different strategies you can use to take advantage of directional plays as well as neutral plays. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned if you don't know anything about options. I'm going to be releasing an in-depth video on my YouTube channel in the coming week about each one of these strategies and how to use it with the Impeccable Stock software. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't joined the Impeccable Stock software yet, I don't know what you're doing, click the link below and sign up. All right, guys, see you on the inside and see you in the next Monday Deep Dive.